Why has NATO announced a 650% increase in forces across Europe? Why have 4 nations from the global south been invited to a North Atlantic Alliance summit for the first time? And why has NATO named China as a threat? The answer to all these questions can be found in the virtual meeting Ukraine held with the African Union on the 20th of June 2022. For months, Ukraine attempted to organize a video conference between the African Union and Western-backed Zelensky, which only materialized through France and Germany exerting heavy pressure on African governments to attend the Zoom call. It is a well-established fact that the West and NATO are waging a proxy war against Russia in Ukraine, and African leaders are not turning a blind eye. 93% of African leaders did not attend the video conference with Zelensky, with the exception of the NATO-installed Libyan leader and the French colonies Ivory Coast and Congo. The AU kept the meeting as hush as possible. The only official recognition of the call came from Moussa Faki Mahama in a lone tweet, in which he cautiously reiterated the AU position of an urgent need for dialogue to end the conflict and allow peace to return to the region and restore global stability. The event demonstrated that the global south, which accounts for 85% of the world's population, does not believe the frequent claims by the US and EU that they are acting on behalf of the international community. Thus, the inclusion of the remaining loyal allies from the south, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea and Japan. The MI6 infiltrated Guardian newspaper in March attributed Africa's neutrality to nostalgia from Cold War loyalties, with specific mention of South Africa, an indication that the West has a close eye on the country. To this end, China's role in the development projects across Africa and its contribution in balancing the Russophobic Western narrative have been evident. While food insecurity is an endemic problem in formerly colonized nations in Africa, the US has threatened to make the crisis even worse. The New York Times reported that the US government is pressuring food insecure countries in Africa not to buy Russian wheat. Despite all this, African independence has emerged stronger than ever, inspiring NATO leaders to respond with a typical imperial-styled military build-up. Yakut Tobias for CRI Radio News.